Hello there, this is Anthony Johnson, and the premise of this video is to demonstrate how to use a cursor. So cursors are typically looked down upon because they take up so many company resources, and it creates a lag across the server because it's using so much computing power to evaluate each row one by one. That's essentially what a cursor is used for, to evaluate each row one by one. You can use cursors for all the DML operations, that's merge, insert, update, and delete. But in this case, we are going to use a cursor in a different way. I'm actually going to show you. You also have your dynamic cursors and you have your static cursors. You can look into that to get better understanding with that. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to select this top query just to show you what we're dealing with here. Okay. So you see this table has 5 customer numbers in it. And this is the table that we're selecting those customer numbers from. We have 5,917 different customer numbers. And let me just show you what the actual table looks like that we're dealing with. Okay. So as you can see here, we have 9 different columns. We're pretty much zoned in on this customer number column. So what we're going to do is we're going to retrieve all of the data in this sales ecom table based off of the customer numbers inside of our 5 customer numbers table. And we're going to actually use a cursor for that. So comment this back out. We're going to begin with our cursor. First things first, we're actually going to declare a variable to hold our customer numbers in the table, or inside of the 5 customer numbers table. We're going to actually create a local variable to hold those values. So declare we'll just call them customer ID int for the data type because they're integers. Now we're going to begin our cursor. Declare. You will use CSR for cursor. That's the cursor name. So it's typically declare, then the cursor name, and then the keyword cursor for. And below the cursor for is your select statement that you're going to be looping through. That's the focus of. That's the focus that that query right there is what we're going to essentially loop through. We'll use those values to loop through the other table in this instance. So we're going to do select from our 5 customer numbers. I'm going to select the only column that's in there, which is customer number. Or if it had a variety of columns, whatever column that you're focused on, select that one and make sure that your variable is of the same data type. Okay, so essentially so far we declared our local variable, we declared our cursor, and we also have created our select statement for that cursor. So far so good. Then we're going to open our cursor, open CSR. We're going to fetch next from our cursor name CSR into at customer ID. So now we opened our cursor up. We took that customer number column. We took those values within that column and placed them inside this variable. So now we go to our while keyword. While at fetch status equals 0. So fetch status equals 0 means it is in a successful state. If it's anything besides 0, then it's in the error state. So if it's 1 after we opened our cursor and then it finds out that the fetch status is 1, then it will not do what's within our while loop. So now after our fetch status, we want to build out our while loop. We're going to do begin and we want to select all from our bbo.sales ecom table where customer number equals at customer ID. And we also want to, within the same begin and block, we want to fetch the next from our cursor name, CSR, into our variable, customer ID. And then last, a couple more things we have to do to end this. We want to close our cursor, close CSR, because that's our cursor name. And then we also want to deallocate our cursor, which is named CSR. All right, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and execute it. Let's just see what it does. Okay, we have 526 records. And as you can see, we get various subsets per customer number. So for the customer number ending in 150, we have all their transactions. If we see in the second subset, the customer number ending in 151, we have all their transactions. 152, we have all their transactions. 153 have all their transactions. And 169, we have all of their transactions. So it's a myriad of ways that you can do this. But as far as cursors are concerned, if you have a table and it has tens of million records in it and you want to go through and evaluate each row by row before you make an update, this is pretty useful. But there's also alternatives to that. It's a simple matter of a left or a right join. You can get the same results. You can update faster. But as far as traversing through a data set one by one and returning all the various subsets, Cursor is one way you can certainly do it. I will consult with your local DBA and see if it's even, if it's even worth doing based off the various material that you're working with. But I hope this was helpful. I hope you're able to add this to your toolbox. Have a blessed day and bye-bye.